was all Blake. And she knew that the song would work, and she got Taylor to do it. I was casting, and I had actually brought in and showed her casting tape to Blake and Taylor, and they were both like, yes, her.
In a world where she is the master of her own universe, the single most powerful woman in entertainment is being dragged into a fight she never asked for. Taylor Swift has spent years meticulously building an impenetrable empire of music, business, and public perception. But now, a dark Hollywood scandal dripping with accusations of harassment and manipulation is about to land on her doorstep. She's being legally summoned and potentially forced to speak in a drama that isn't hers. This isn't her lawsuit, and it isn't her scandal, but her fame, and more importantly, her friendships, have just made her the biggest and most vulnerable target in the room. The opening shot in this battle came not from a stage, but from a legal document. Lawyers representing actor and director Justin Baldoni have sent a clear and shocking message across the legal aisle. They want Taylor Swift under oath. They are formally demanding she sit for a deposition, a high-stakes, sworn testimony where every word is recorded, scrutinized, and can be used as a weapon. This isn't a simple conversation. It's a legal gauntlet designed to pull the world's biggest pop star into a murky swamp of accusations she has nothing to do with, while her team insists she has no role and no relevant information. The gears of the legal machine are turning, and the court may soon leave her with no choice but to testify. But the question roaring through Hollywood is, why? Why her? The answer is far more calculated and twisted than anyone imagined. To understand why Taylor is being targeted, you have to understand the real story. This legal war isn't about her at all. It's about her very close friend, the actress Blake Lively. Lively has filed an explosive lawsuit against Justin Baldoni, her director and co-star in the film It Ends With Us. The court documents paint a deeply disturbing picture, filled with serious accusations of sexual harassment and claims of a toxic, nightmarish work environment on set. Lively alleges that after she found the courage to speak up, Baldoni and his team didn't just deny her claims, they launched a vicious smear campaign designed to silence her, discredit her, and potentially ruin her career. This is the dark, bitter lawsuit that has now snaked its way toward Taylor Swift, threatening to pull her into its depths. It's no secret that Blake Lively and Taylor Swift share one of the most visible and solid friendships in Hollywood. They are constantly seen together from private gatherings to major industry events, always supporting each other publicly and privately. Their friendship has become a symbol of female solidarity in a notoriously cutthroat industry. And it's this very sanctuary of friendship that Justin Baldoni's legal team has decided to weaponize. Their strategy appears to be as cynical as it is brilliant. If they can't break Blake Lively directly, they will go after her most famous and powerful friend. The goal is to put Taylor Swift on the stand under the glare of legal scrutiny and force her to answer invasive questions about her private, confidential conversations with Blake. It's a cruel tactic designed to turn a relationship built on trust into a weapon for a brutal legal cross-examination. The first move in this legal chess game was a stunning claim made in a letter delivered directly to the judge. In that letter, Baldoni's lawyers boldly and confidently stated that Taylor Swift had already agreed to be deposed. They even claimed she had set aside a full week in October specifically to provide her testimony. The news exploded online, sending shockwaves through the media and her fan base. But the story they presented was an illusion. Just hours later, Swift's powerhouse legal team fired back with a letter of their own, and it was written with ice-cold fury. They stated in no uncertain terms that Taylor did not agree to any deposition, that she has no material role or information in the case, and that she would only appear if she was officially forced to do so by a court order. The battle lines were immediately and starkly drawn. One side was claiming cooperation, the other was crying coercion. But this demand for a deposition wasn't the first time Baldoni's legal team had aimed their sights at Swift. Buried deep within the mountain of legal filings was another shocking revelation. The court had already given them permission to obtain and analyze private text messages and communications between Blake, Lively, and Taylor Swift. Their goal was to dig through years of private conversations, searching for any out-of-context phrase, any stray remark, any piece of digital chatter that could be twisted and used to damage Lively's credibility in court. It was a staggering invasion of privacy, but it was only the beginning. Now, with the formal demand for a deposition, they've made it clear they aren't just content with reading her private texts. They want to interrogate her about them, under oath, for the entire world to see. So what is the real strategy here? Why this relentless, almost obsessive focus on Taylor Swift? Legal experts and insiders speculate it boils down to one of three chilling possibilities. First, it could be a genuine, if utterly desperate, search for evidence. Baldoni's team might truly believe that Swift knows something a secret. A comment, anything that could demolish Lively's case. The second possibility is far more cynical, pure intimidation. Dragging a global superstar with a notoriously private life into this kind of messy public fight puts unimaginable pressure on Blake Lively. It serves as a warning shot, a clear message that they are willing to create a media circus for everyone in her orbit. The third, and perhaps most likely option, it's a publicity stunt. It's a calculated tactic to generate headlines and distract the public from the very serious accusations of harassment at the heart of the original lawsuit. Adding another layer of dark, poetic irony to this entire situation is the very film that started it all. The movie at the center of this firestorm, It Ends With Us, a story about emotional turmoil and breaking cycles, actually features one of Taylor Swift's own songs, the haunting, melancholic track, My Tears Ricochet. That song, from her album Folklore, is a gut-wrenching tale of betrayal, a ghost story about being wronged by someone you trusted, now in a twist she could have never written. Her art has become the soundtrack to a real-life legal drama where her own loyalties and friendships are being used as ammunition against her friend. She is now personally ricocheting inside a legal battle she wanted nothing to do with. This aggressive legal strategy isn't happening in a vacuum. It's part of a larger, established pattern. It's critical to remember that Justin Baldoni has been on the offensive before in this case. He previously filed a massive $400 million countersuit against Blake Lively and her famous husband, Ryan Reynolds, accusing them of a wild conspiracy of defamation and extortion. But his case was so flimsy, so lacking in credible evidence. All that? A judge swiftly and decisively threw the entire thing out of court. That failed high-profile lawsuit provides crucial context. It paints a picture of a legal team willing to try anything, no matter how audacious, including pulling in unrelated celebrities to fight the very serious accusations that refuse to go away. Right now, behind the scenes, everything is a frantic race against the clock. The official court-mandated deadline for all depositions in this case is September 30th. Baldoni's team is now frantically pleading with the judge, asking for a special extension just so they can depose Swift in late October. In response, Lively's lawyers are fighting back with everything they have, arguing that there is no legitimate reason for the delay. They've bluntly accused Baldoni's team of orchestrating this entire saga as a media-driven tactic, designed solely to harass Lively and unfairly drag an uninvolved, high-profile individual into the mud for headlines. It's impossible to overstate what a deposition truly means for someone like Taylor Swift. It isn't just a casual conversation. It is a sworn legal proceeding. She would be required to sit in a cold, sterile room for hours, under oath, while a team of opposing lawyers grill her with intensely personal and leading questions. Every word she says, every pause, every hesitation becomes part of the official legal record. It can be picked apart, dissected, and twisted in the media. For a public figure as famously private and media-savvy as Swift, this is a potential nightmare scenario. One wrong word, one misremembered detail from a casual conversation years ago, and the headlines could be brutal, career-altering, and completely divorced from the actual truth now. All the power rests in the hands of a single judge. The court will have to review the arguments and decide whether Taylor Swift's potential testimony is relevant enough to grant the extension and force her to speak. If the judge denies the request, Swift is finally free, and Baldoni's high-profile gamble will have failed spectacularly. But if the judge approves it, the world will witness one of the biggest celebrity legal showdowns in years. As Taylor Swift is forced to testify, turning this already ugly Hollywood lawsuit into an unprecedented global media event. The outcome and her involvement hangs entirely in the balance. Ultimately, this entire bizarre situation serves as a stark and brutal reminder of the hidden price of fame. When you become as powerful and influential as Taylor Swift, you don't just become a celebrity. You become a chess piece. Your life, your privacy, and even your most sacred friendships are no longer just your own, they become assets. Tools of leverage that others can use for their own gain in their own ugly wars. The real story here isn't just about a lawsuit. It's about how the relentless machine of Hollywood can consume everyone and everything in its path, even those who are just innocent bystanders. Taylor Swift may have built an unbreakable kingdom on a foundation of genius and hard work, but she's now discovering that in the unseen battles of the rich and famous. No one is ever truly safe from being pulled into the darkness.